You're watching the Weiss channel. Today we're going to solve by factoring trinomials where the value before the squared term is more than 1. Let's see, 3p squared, right? So look at this problem here. Remember, the right side has to be equal to 0. So we've got to get rid of negative 3p first. How do we get rid of negative 3p? We add 3p to both sides. So we'll get 3p squared plus 20p equals 7. So now we got to get rid of 7. How do we get rid of 7? Minus 7. Can't combine 7 with 3p squared or 20p, so you just write minus 7. So you have 3p squared plus 20p minus 7 equals 0. Now we're going to factor. What times what makes 3p squared? It's got to be 3p times p. What times what makes negative 7? We're going to use negative 1 and positive 7 because 3 times 7 makes 21. Negative 1 times p makes negative 1. So you have 3p minus 1 and p plus 7. So now we're going to say 3p minus 1 equals 0 and p plus 7 equals 0. You split them up. So we're going to add 1 to both sides and say 3p equals 1. Divide by 3. You get p equals 1/3. Here you minus 7 from both sides, you get p equals negative 7. 2 answers. Okay. So here I'm going to go ahead and skip steps because this time I'm going to add 9q to both sides and I'm going to minus 3 from both sides. So if I add 9q to negative 16q, won't I get negative 7q? And if I minus 3 from negative 3, won't I get negative 6? So I have 3q squared minus 7q minus 6 equals 0, which is going to factor to 3q plus 2, q minus 3. Because 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, 2 times q is positive 2. Negative 9 plus 2 is the negative 7. So that worked. So we split these up. 3q plus 2 equals 0 and q minus 3 equals 0. Okay. So here I'm going to minus 2 from both sides and get 3q equals negative 2. Divide by 3, q equals negative 2 over 3. Over here I add 3 to both sides and get q equals 3. 2 answers. Okay. Over here I'm going to add 4r to both sides and minus 4 to both sides. Adding 4r to negative 11r, I get negative 7r. Subtracting 4 from positive 6, I get positive 2. So 6r squared minus 7r plus 2 equals 0. Factor, you get 3r minus 2, 2r minus 1. Because 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, which makes negative 7. Split these up. 3r minus 2 equals 0. 2r minus 1 equals 0. Add 2 to both sides. You get 3r equals 2. Divide by 3. r equals 2 over 3. With 2r minus 1 equals 0, you add 1 to both sides, you get 2r equals 1. Divide by 2, you get r equals 1/2. You've been watching the Weiss channel.